Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment he made?
I thought from varsity.
Wrong Ryan.
And everything. You have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
No way. What grade?
That one.
Yes. Because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United. Simeon, JP, those in the comment section, those who watching, today is a good day. You know, I think is it good to say Champions League, here we come? I mean, a 1-0 away win at Stamford Bridge is always a good feeling, and it's not something that we've experienced regularly of late, you know, but every time we go there, we always have to try to grind a result, you know, and in this particular time, you know, this instance with a makeshift defense, you know, we went there with no Maguire, no Euro, no Martinez, only God knows what we're going to do with it. You know, it was a 19-year-old Aidan Heaven and Mazwari, who I don't think ever played centre-back for us in his life, right? And I mean, we had to be honest with ourselves. The result was a smash and grab. But at this business end of the season, you had to win, right? And it's just that 3 points. Now, fellas, question, comment section, question. How good does it feel, right, to finally, to finally fleece back Chelsea? You understand? Because I will never forget that $66 million on Mount, right? That Chelsea run to the bank with. But Garnacho earlier, that felt so good. I remember before the game, me and JP was talking, and JP was saying, Garnacho is this, Delap is this, and I know when we play in teams just step up for you now, boys. So just be careful because I don't want to jump out myself and then they come and bag now, boy, you know. But at full time, I was able to say with confidence that Delap is rubbish, Garnacho is rubbish. Chelsea got fleeced. Thank you very much. What are we saying, Simeon? What are we saying, JP? Welcome, fellas.
No, it's a good result. You know, it's a great result. I mean, you know, we coming off the last performance, you know, and all we had going on the defensive, you know, side, you know, we start off the day pretty good. I mean, we see, you know, Tottenham still in the relegation zone, you know, so that, you know. I see that. I figure, you know, we'll try again this weekend to come out, you know, and try and banter other, you know, fans. But you know, I'm just glad, you know, we pulled it out. And I mean, I think the result, the point, the distance from sixth place is just all that matters right now. I mean, there's so much to discuss that went on in this game, but I mean, like you said, just being back in the Champions League, you know, is a big deal for us, given the you know, the time away. You know, and that's what we want. We want to hear that music playing. You know, that Champions League anthem going. That's what we want to hear as Manchester United fans. So it's a good day. You know, I mean, the game, you know, was interesting to say the least. You know, I didn't expect to see Garnacho so early. You know, we could talk about Menu come on, and I see, you know, all I need to see from Menu. You know, I think, you know, we see the Cunha, you know, the Bruno. There's so much happening in this game, you know, that like I want to be negative sometimes, but I just gotta, you know, take it right now and just smile and move on.
Yeah, and we will get to the negatives in it because we are foolish, you know. We just watch the game and we just analyze it with you know. But I mean, no, as I said before, 3 points, and that's what matters. Go through JP.
No, as you're saying there, 3 points and a clean sheet. That very important. And when you consider you had the bully Dilap up front against Mazwari, that to me, to come out of a game with a clean sheet playing with Mazwari and Eden Heaven, that's big props. As much as the performance may not have been great, those guys perform really well together. You can't really say, yes, we get beaten in the air a few times because Chelsea started to, they were smart. That was their game plan. They wanted to attack our centre backs in the air because they know they had Dilap, who is just a bully, right? But I really have to say, hats off to them fellas. Dalot, Garnacho couldn't get that, no change. I don't have a single duel that the man win. Not one. Dalot had him unlocked right through, and Dalot is prone to 3 or 4 mistakes in a game, and not one. Them fellas tell themselves today, no Garnacho, you not going to show the least bit of Starboy does today at all. At all. Nothing.
You know, honestly, it ain't that hard. It ain't that hard. It ain't that hard, JP.
But you know,
it ain't that hard.
You just catch him ever so often, you just catch him on the run ever so often, but today it wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. So really and truly, I yes, I have things we have to look at. Yes, I have things, to me in attack that we need to talk about. But defensively, we had to start there and get them first the props, because everybody was wondering who we going to play, how we going to play. I think it was a smart decision at the end of the day to play the left-right combination, because he could have easily say, sure, play kind of like a centre-back under Amorim and stick him next to Heaven, where you had 2 left-footers and somebody less mobile as well. So having Mazwari and Heaven together, you saw some mobility and the left-right combination in the back there. So you got to give credit where it's due, and that definitely deserves the credit.
Yeah, definitely. Agreed with our assessment, JP. Now, fellas, forgive me. I want to be a little shameless. I want to be a little petty. I want to ask the question, and I want to kind of direct the answer, So what did you all enjoy most about the game, Garnacho?
2 things for me. Seeing Garnacho Cassie way and Kobe Menu continuing to prove his words, continuing to show that Amorim had to go before the International Criminal Board and face charges for war crimes. Because this man is a criminal earlier.
Criminal.
Right?
Capital criminal.
And a psychological criminal too, because this man had people believing Kobe not getting it.
Yeah, boy.
It had fans was talking about Kobe this and Kobe that and Kobe ain't ready. And all kind of shippiness about Kobe people was talking. And you could see the difference that Kobe making that team today. It was apparent. It couldn't be hidden, the difference in that midfield today.
Yeah, definitely. Simeon, well, what did you enjoy most about the game? If it's just one thing, Garnacho.
Nah, man. I mean, I want to laugh at Garnacho, but I mean, he ain't give me nothing to, like, if I play, like, give something to, make you vex. So the man was just poor. I mean, the man was just terrible. The man couldn't do nothing. The man couldn't pass nobody. The man couldn't, I thought Mazwari for a second. I thought Mazwari, give him a penalty, give him a pen, but upon for the review, he just take the ball from him. And I'm like, I think in general, knowing that Chelsea men, like you said, with the whole mounting, to know that Chelsea take this man, buy this man, and this man is one of the worst. I mean, I can't even. I mean, that man he basically won us the game. I mean, the man, everything we say about the man is turned out to be true. Not that's true, evident, glaringly true. I mean, to the point that everybody, both, when Garnacho got sub on, ain't nobody, there was, I feel like both United fans and Chelsea fans was thinking the same thing. That's my shit. I mean, when you come on, you barely hear applaud. Like you could tell that ain't nobody want to see Garnacho on that field today. You know what I mean? And that, at the same time, it get me, I laugh at it because at Chelsea and what they do in the market and stuff and how they sell us bum players. It's kind of sad, man. It's just like, I can't even laugh. I can laugh, but at the same time, it's like, man, this man is real. This man really messed up a good situation. And the menu thing, I think, thing about menu today is right away you could tell. Right away you could tell the difference. The man looked like he had like one or two bad, but right away you could tell the sharpness. After Karim, I'm like, was he injured? Because I didn't really see Russ. This man was running midfield like he was he's been there, I think for me, when Kobe first came on the, what Kobe detractors, would say is Kobe ain't as aggressive, in attacking situations, like, kind of players that get more attention. But Kobe playing like a real, like, you have like your Audi, you have like a car, you have an Audi, but you also have Volkswagen. A Volkswagen ain't as flashy like Audi, but it do everything, nice and luxurious inside. It just ain't as flashy like Kobe making that midfield run. He ain't doing anything. I mean, he doing real nice things, but he ain't popping out, but he run that midfield real good today. And it really shows, and against a good Chelsea, a good Chelsea midfield too. I have to question what Chelsea doing as far as their effort, but it was still a good team he's playing against. So I hope to see more from Kobe. If he plays like this, I just so he can fight him down. I mean, I know we want more. I know fans want more flash from the midfield, but Kobe giving you, as far as running on midfield, Kobe giving you all you need.
Yeah, well said. Like when you know something true and people just see it, and then when it comes into fruition, you just sit down and you just
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. That's how I feel about Garnacho, because I tell you, I was sitting here with this fella, this little spoiled brat, right? When he was at Manchester United, thinking, that he was entitled to so much more. That we gave this fella more than he had deserved.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying? And this fella sit down and start to think that he was the table, like some of them females and them. You understand? Yeah. And this man was thinking that, he was entitled to more than he earned. And it feels so good to see him now. You understand? Even when he would come on to play against us, he would tell himself, hey, I have something to prove. And he came and he proved what we knew from all along, that you're not ready. You understand? Pat down. Baby with Cristiano Ronaldo ego. Pat down.
Yeah.
Let me just bring up a comment here. Rio Ferdinand was asked about Garnacho today, and this is what he had to say. He said, you need to feel for Chelsea. It's when he's playing against them, right? When he was at United, he was performing better than this until he started with the attitude.
Exactly.
Right? He said, as a young footballer, you need to drop the attitude. Just play football and respect your coach's decision. He was so awful tonight, but that's no longer our problem.
Great.
You understand? Rio spoke as a real Man United fan, but that footballer's understanding of the game. Because sometimes they go say, well, all his fans only don't understand. But Rio sat there, Rio was there. So what he's saying, they have all the context you need. You understand? So let me get some comments real quick. But before I do that, Phil sent me this. Again, guys are shameless. And not only me, the Manchester United players and all.
Yes, too.
Yeah, they was sure post on Instagram.
Yeah. And I think Zixi, it's I want to see where Zixi comment on that laughing in it. I don't
Right.
find it. Yeah.
Good riddance. Good riddance. This is one of the moments when a good riddance feels so good. So
Yeah.
good. You understand? Let me just get some comments here. Everson on the inside, good night to you. He's saying GGMU. Thanks for joining, man. Alan on the inside, thanks for joining. Good night to you. He's saying, fellas, with that makeshift defense, I only expected a draw. And for Garnacho, it's karma for how he behaved in the final few months with us. Exactly. Phil on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying, now land, 2 words, Kobe Menu. All right. Also, Aidan Heaven is my guy. The English
Pop Smoke.
All right. The English is Sandro Martinez. He's also saying that JP is a lawyer. Why you don't lock up Amorim?
Like police boy.
I don't know what lawyers is doing in Barbados and Canada horse. Right?
Yeah, but we don't lock up people.
He's saying Garnacho is a sideman. Remember when Chelsea fans in the transfer window said thank you? It turned, I think it's our turn to say you're welcome, Argentina. Aaron. Yeah, but Aaron Lennon.
No, don't do that on that.
Yeah, Aaron Lennon's a big player.
Yeah, don't do that
Right?
on that. That was good.
Darian on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining. Saying such a huge win overall because Stamford Bridge is not a good hunting ground for us over the years. Correct. Phil saying here, the only reason why Garnacho is a no name is because he was at Man United. Exactly.
Yep.
If 3 to 5 years time, he's going to be playing in Guatemala with Bebe and Anderson and Federico Makeda. Hey, listen, it felt good. It felt good, knowing that. Come on, man, relax, right? All that gun talk. So, fellas, and I want to put up. I see it's a new widget with StreamYard here. So I'm doing a poll. Let me see how it goes with the feedback from the comment section. But the question is to the panel: is UEFA Champions League secured for Manchester United next season? Now, we know it's not mathematically secured yet, right? Things could go, but what you all think? All you think, we inside, or not yet, right? So I create the poll. The poll is active. You all could vote, right? You all could also comment. So let me see if we're using the poll feature now, right? We have it to use. So fellas, Simeon, JP, is UEFA Champions League secured for Manchester United for next season as far as you're concerned? Go through.
Talk about Manchester United, right? I would say yes. I think it's going to be drama because we do drama. I think the injury and is always a worry, and the suspension obviously could be a worry. But I think we should be able to carry it. I think especially given that I don't think Liverpool is in the best form. I don't think Chelsea. Well, we know what kind of form Chelsea's in. I think we should be able to bring it home. I mean, I don't think we're playing any great football right now, but certainly I think we could at the very least squeeze it home.
Yeah. JP, what are you saying?
Yeah. I don't think it would be as close either because Chelsea is the team that is the next team when you're looking at the top 5. Chelsea is the one at 6, and with 10 points clear. 5 games to go. I can't see us losing all 5 games, Chelsea winning all their games to catch up in that way. There's a lot that go wrong for us and a lot that go right for Chelsea for us to switch positions. And then Liverpool too, still inconsistent. So at least our top 5, I think we secure him. I just want us to do it comfortably enough. Because the next thing with it we have to consider as well as the higher up you finish, the more money you make. So that is another thing that we need to kind of want to maintain that 3rd spot. Because it will make us we will come out with more finances, and we know we need the finances for that Champions League. to be competitive overall next season, we need that money.
Yeah, definitely agreed. And I tend to lean on the same side that we there, right? A lot will have to happen, for us to really drop off that badly to say that we can't make Champions League, especially with the confidence derived from the win today. That kind of siege mentality where we were unfairly dealt with PGMOL and the referees and VAR, because Maguire could have been available today, all right? And I would have thought, I would have thought that after whatever reviews would have been done on the Martinez incident, I thought that would get overturned, but they reject it.
Yeah,
you understand. So you could tell there's an active, and real agenda against Manchester United, making it to the Champions League. So they're trying all how. And we proved today that if with a makeshift defense, we could win games. You understand? But they're going to continue to fight we. You understand?
They tried today too,
Yeah, the amount of times them study, vast study about things.
Yes.
Go through JP, talk about it.
Yeah, you saw it. I was like, what are you reviewing?
Yeah.
What you have to look at? You're checking to see where it was one with Palmer on the line. They're checking to see where Casemiro win the ball clearly. And you see them watching over and over. Like they're just trying to find an angle where Casemiro big toe touch Palmer first before he touch the ball. The real study that boy. Because
everything.
The real study. Handball, they check it over. And I thinking about what is this? And then in a game today, Calvin Bassey is here, Paul. Nobody gets sent off.
No card. Yeah, no card, nothing.
No card, nothing, no review. Where the consistency? And that is the problem. If it was happening across the board, we could just say the referee is trashing it. But when it happening to Man United, and not happening to other teams, then it's an agenda. It has to be an agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, Philippe mentioned the hair pull and nothing. And these are the things. So I don't know if you want to jump on this, but these are the things, and this is why I'm saying that we're going to continue to get fight down, and they're going to be fine margins. You understand? For us to really get the results that we want, especially when you have marginal calls, like a man get joke on the line or you touch a man bad, and even I was surprised that Cunha just escaped that red card that second goal today.
Yes, with the second tackle. Yeah, I was a little concerned with that tackle. The second tackle, I say, wait, boy, this ref gonna spoil this game here.
Yeah. So, but I guess they knew the attention and the focus on their officiating would have been under a microscope for this game, especially because of the narratives that them themselves create. So that's why they try to be as careful and cautious as possible with a lot of decisions. But I mean, the mere fact that you was hearing that they're reviewing this and they're reviewing that, and as you're all saying, games men getting their head pull and nothing. But for Man United, Topo getting reviewed. You understand? So for me, when you have those kind of forces of darkness against you, sometimes it don't be that straightforward in terms of qualification now, boy. But go ahead, Simeon.
No, let me tell you what can help that. Scoring goals. Can help that. Putting three. When you get a chance, putting the ball in the back of the net. I always said at the beginning of this year, this team was built. It wasn't built for the midfield. I mean, Manu come on and Casemiro, have a good turnaround this season, but we were built to score goals. We bring in players to score goals. And the type of football we play in, when you have a 3-on-2 or 3-on-3, you need to put the ball in the back of the net. Otherwise, it can easily be, how much time Chelsea hit the post today. The front three or we have up there need to be more clinical and more take the chances better. We buy these men for that purpose. Cunha definitely is an upgrade say that, but from Ganacho, but he need to be more consistent. It's a habit, it's a joke now. Cunha could be playing all kind of mess in the first half, and I be cussing him. I'm gonna start cussing him. He score. I just wish he ain't gotta do. He could score 2 goals before we get to that point. I think the games. We need more from them fellas. Cunha, I can't say he come up big, but a lot of times for most of the game he can't be doing nonsense. Sesko, we ain't see too much from Sesko. I like his movement. I like a lot of his interchange play, but I don't see how he's a focal point. And Mbeumo as well. Mbeumo still ain't quite, the Mbeumo we see, early on in the season. We not built, especially right now with the defense how it is. We need to score goals. This Chelsea matchup, always been tough. It's almost always a draw. I'm surprised they didn't come back and score another goal. But this Chelsea team is a mess right now. And Chelsea men, I talk to them all the time, and they in a horrors remind me of how we were, a year or two back. But we need to score and finish our chances. That's why we got Sesko, Cunha, and Mbeumo. We need to score more goals, and once you do that, the referee and at least these things kind of slip away a little bit. So
yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one, because and the thing about it is not that we're not creating chances to score. We're just not scoring.
Yeah,
wasteful, man.
Yeah, very wasteful, very wasteful. And I will listen. If you know how that chance with Cunha, that heavy touch, listen, that was a criminal. That's criminal.
And he could have hit that one time, eh?
He could have hit that one time.
And he have the technique for that. That is the upsetting thing. He is one of the players that they would want that ball to come to there. And I think honestly we see a better version of Mbeumo today, playing in his natural position. I think more games there, we will see more from him. The problem is Sesko. And we gotta be honest, the only good thing Sesko do today was when he screened off for the goal. Because he played a critical role in that goal there by holding off the defender. And to me, that's the only good thing he did today. His hold-up play is garbage. I'll be honest with you, till today. It was garbage. He did not help out the team at all when the ball came to him. And I think this is where Carrick had to do something and play Zirkzee. Giving Zirkzee 5 minutes is not making sense. Zirkzee is much better on the ball. And I think the reason we're not getting the best out of the attack is partly because of that too. When you look at the players that Mbeumo and Cunha are, they're runners. And if they're playing, you know who would actually be good for them fellas too? This fellow who playing for Brobbey. That man will play real good enough. He just come deep. I mean, I'm not saying we'll sign him. Don't get me to say that. But what I'm saying, that kind of striker, he's come deep and hold that ball, and nobody's getting it from him. And then the next pass he make, there's always be a very good pass. I was watching him real good the other day. I was like, this man is a proper striker who could bring players into the game and allow people to come forward. And that's that not happening with us. Sesko not coming and receiving the ball, and then them fellas who good at running behind, nobody there to give them it. It's only Bruno trying to play that pass. You need a striker to be able to play that pass too, or to bring men with him and they know, right, he have good hold-up play. So we had to kind of bring somebody on him, so you leave a space behind, one of them fellas could run in that space, and then that ball could knock over to them like that. But that's not happening. And that's why I think what is the harm in trying Zirkzee? What is the harm in trying Zirkzee? Who you know is very good at dropping short and bringing others into play. And I feel like, and Riemann, I saying this from the start of the season, why he wasn't trying that? Like Xerxes them fellas would have run off of him. Like when Xerxes played that ball to Garnacho last season and he did nothing with it, was in the FA Cup game, if I remember correctly. Great ball, Xerxes correct and turn and pass one time for him. And we saw it in a few games last season too. So how it is that kind of trait not being seen as valuable? Because same Robbie is not a prolific goal scorer, no? But what he brings to the team, it assisting the other players in the team. So it would a try, I think, unless Sesko come off the bench until he is ready to be a starter for Manchester United.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like other members like Chef or something, but like I feel it's an agenda. I mean, it has to be an agenda against Xerxes.
Yes.
You know, it has to be. It has to
Yes.
be at this point. To the point now, I think most at the end of Kareem, but I give up on Xerxes playing for a role in this team.
Yeah, I think he gonna. And if I were him, I would go because what's the point?
Exactly. I mean, he was on for a little bit, and right up, like some players, right away you could see the skill, you could see the vision.
Exactly.
He's one of them players.
Exactly.
And for him not to be, he's still a young player. For him not to be given his space to explore that and to show what he has shown before, for this team. I mean, and even trying to put him out there to show. I mean, and there have been times, occasions where we needed a Xerxes on a team, and then they flat out don't put him in the team until there's 5 minutes, 3 minutes left, or they have no choice. And even so, they try not to play him. What game was it we were losing? And this has Xerxes on his sideline just watching. I'm like, why? But at this point now, it's an agenda. I don't know, try and force him out in the summer or something, but I don't
force Mount with him one time, because what has Mount done for Manchester United? I don't care how he is training. I really don't care how Mount is training. I don't care how good he is at kissing us, because clearly he's a teacher's pet. Clearly he's a teacher's pet, because the man has done nothing for us and he still get more minutes than Xerxes. For what? What you do? I'd prefer we bring on Shea Lacey today instead of Mount. That is our future. Mount should leave this club. Mount and Shaw had to go same time.
And even with all of that, Mount come on and almost cost we in the end. Then.
Exactly.
Yeah, man always cost we.
That handball, yeah.
My thing on Sesko, guys, it's on record. I had the receipts. I have been saying the way the team is play, we don't play for number 9. I feel like I've broken a record saying this, right? With all the team, the way the team is set up, we play well with a false 9. Somebody is able to drop in, they go on the ball, they could hold up, they could link play, right? I've always said it. I've also said that Sesko coming on, creating a different kind of threat later on in the game. He has pace, he is strong in the air. This is the part of the game where defenders might like jumping plenty. You understand? We call legs tired. You understand what I'm saying? So that kind of lift, they will be at a disadvantage when you bring on Sesko and he could tower over them. That is when you want to bring Sesko. And every time we've done it like that, Sesko has scored. I mean, it mightn't be the popular thing to do now because we just won a game and, Carrick this and Carrick that. But I am not convinced with Carrick in terms of his ability to manage a team and make critical decisions. I still feel as though, he's making decisions to favor certain players, to fit, the player that might have the big price tag, the player that, might sell jerseys, or the players that he's supposed to start, the ones that we sign, the ones that are expensive. Xerxes is not when I say he's not a popular name to start games. You know, he don't fit that, so he doesn't play. You know, and I am looking for Carrick to find solutions. You know, in different situations. I've been also here after the 65th minute, and Mbeumo was roast.
Done. Yeah.
Sesko, you could have seen Sesko. His efficiency, his effectiveness was dead. You understand what I'm saying? Cunha was at risk of getting sent off.
Yeah.
And you wait until the 70-something minute then to make a change. Come on, Michael Carrick, man. You had to do better than that. You have to do better than that.
And can you remember, like, he didn't pull Mbeumo until Mbeumo was limping?
Yeah.
He probably would have been on the bench.
Yeah.
And these are the things that I'm looking at, and I'm saying as a manager, you have to be able to manage a squad. I know Cunha want to play 130 minutes. I know Mbeumo, but you have, as the manager, had to be able to have a little more foresight. You understand, and say, well, okay, it's not about you, it's about the team, right? And your tired legs might mean that you can recover.
Yeah.
You understand? Your tired legs up top, where you're not holding up the ball, that turnover might put us under more pressure. These are the kind of things I want to see my manager doing and thinking about, rather than playing favorites and keeping this one on the field because he's popular or whatever the case may be. You understand? Because I heard it look like Simeone, you make the point. How much games? You know, the game was calling for this man, and here on the bench there, and you're using him. You're bringing on Mount. You're bringing on this one. You're bringing on Ugarte. When the game calling for somebody to keep the ball, put the foot on the ball and keep it. So I don't know. It might, and as I said before, if either there was a conversation between Carrick and Xerxes before to say, well, hey, here we're going, don't worry, you'll get games next season. But I don't know. Phil saying here, what if someone pull Mbeumo beard since he ain't got no hair?
It should be.
How to be a red card, right? How to be a red card. Curse on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining, buddy. He's saying an ugly win, but win regardless. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Darian saying here, 2 wins on the inside, 3rd most goals in the league. That's a huge accomplishment. We're not that bad. We're working in progress. All right. 3rd for the most goals
so
in the
much.
league. Well, I mean,
I gotta check that stat because we scored so much goals.
I can't remember what our goal difference was before Carrick, but I know now it's plus 13. So I don't know if that is what he's talking about, right? Phil saying here, Rio is a man who believes in Sesko, right? That man is playing like an academy grad player. Watch. And Phil talking about who JP was talking about, Brian Burberry.
Yeah.
From for Sunderland, the man does hold up the ball like if the R2 button on the PS controller stick. Earlier, and as I said before, I have all the receipts. I like Sesko. I like what Sesko bringing. I like what he added. Right? But I've always said, the way how the team is playing now, and Mbeumo through the middle or Xerxes through the middle, please, and let Sesko come off the bench and impact the game. I've said that from the start. So I believe in Sesko, but right now, Sesko had to come off the bench for me. I've always said it.
I agree.
All right. Darian saying here, JP so right. Sesko hold up play today was garbage. Xerxes would have been a better pick. I find we ignore Xerxes too much. Yeah. All right. Kurt saying here, Xerxes has been unfairly treated this season. We'll hate to see him go.
I'll be happy for him to go now, honestly, because he will stay and just waste. What's the point in keeping him if this is how we play him?
Exactly.
And then fans will turn on him because when he gets out 10 minutes and he don't do something spectacular, they'll be like, why you don't start? Or they see a good thing. Or if the man not getting regular sweat, obviously he'll be rusty.
Yeah. Kerwin on the inside, thanks for joining, man. Saying the game today wasn't all that great. Like we didn't run all over Chelsea, but we defeated like PSG. Or is it defended? Okay. Great win, Man United. Yes, man. For sure. He's also saying here, it is what it is. Mason Mount is to play where Bruno is play, but Bruno is undroppable. Sesko was to come on. Yeah. Malacia and Ugarte, sad to say, have to go. Mount is to use in certain type of games.
No, he could go too.
But if you looked at Carrick pre-match presser, Mount ain't going nowhere, right? Just like
I know that.
Yeah, man. Blessings. So, guys, I want to go in a little more on Mainoo and Heaven's performances. I know we had touched on it earlier, right? But when you look at the Leeds game earlier, right, and you saw that lack of control, that lack of composure, that lack of calmness, that lack of intelligence, and then you watch the Chelsea game today, which I believe is a much better midfield in terms of quality all around against Leeds.
Mm-hmm.
And we were able to handle that so much better. And it's not because, we didn't we were more compact. I just think it's because Kobe was there, right? And I want to pull up Carrick. Now, Carrick has been in high praise of Kobe Mainoo since he came. And I guess I don't think Kobe could I get favored any better, if any other manager comes. So if it's one thing Carrick do right, is giving Kobe this opportunity to build back himself, build back his confidence, build back his career, and now the man with England. And I'm sure he's going to World Cup, right?
Of course.
But let me just get some comments here from Michael Carrick on Kobe, right? He's saying here, I thought this was the best Kobe. This is the best Kobe played since I've been here. And I firmly agree with that, right?
Yeah.
So many sides to this game, defended well. Not easy when you have so many players around you. A good battle between him and Cole Palmer showed great composure. So guys, let me talk about Kobe Mainoo's performance today, because I tell you, I was worried with the fact that we didn't have a good defense. Well, when I say a more experienced defense against a Chelsea midfield that is stacked with quality, but yet this man, he didn't do anything spectacular. But it's just that kind of unsung kind of impact that this man had that kept our midfield so honest and so effective go through.
Yeah, it would seem like it's not doing something spectacular, but when you think about how time does look like if it's slow down for him when he get the ball, he do ever look rushed. And I think that is something in itself that's spectacular, because other players, they just look rushed. But Kobe does always look like if he have 2 seconds more to think and do what he needs to do before the people realize what he doing. And that is something, I think it is born with that skill. I don't think that's something he could teach a player. And that's why he considered generational, because when you look at how Kobe was controlling the game today with the tempo of how we played almost went through him. And I think that has something to do with Carrick too. I think he building him more into that type of midfielder who could control the game better. And you saw it today. And the other side of the game that we saw was they put him on Cole Palmer. He was on Cole Palmer duties and he was chasing him down everywhere. He make life very hard for him today. And that is not something that you would put in Kobe locker. You wouldn't think, all right, let me put Kobe to man, marker man. And let them do an under Herrera rule. The man had an under Herrera rule today and he played it very well. Kobe, like, I don't know. I just like to watch youth man play, boy. Like, the composure when he decide he want to run through a few men and he just find a little space. If he fall and he just still manage to pull off the pass, it'll just be a joy to watch him play, because you could see how, like, at this age, if this is your level of understanding of the game, if this is your level of composure at this age, I don't understand how he's been having conversations and I'm watching them content creators who talking about buying 2 midfielders and Kobe will play some games and Kobe will play some games. That is rubbish. That is rubbish. You had to buy players to play with Kobe. Because when you have a player like that, I don't care who we playing, Kobe have to play. I don't want to hear about Anderson and Wharton could play against City and Kobe could play against Thing. No, Kobe will play with whoever next to him. Because Casemiro played next to Ugarte and look how the team look. Kobe play next to Casemiro and look how the team look. Listen, Kobe Mano is the truth. That is all I have to say. He's the truth.
Simeon, we are the same, the truth.
No, I mean, I welcome, I welcome the Kobe, detractors. I think, Kobe hasn't shown a lot. When I say a lot, I mean, he hasn't played, this is his best game of the season. I think the level he showed today is what we expect to see when he first broke through, from the youth rank. This is Kobe we know, we see it, the first 5 minutes we see it, and it carried on for the whole game. This is what we want to see from Kobe. This is what the promise was. And had me questioning the way he played today was, I asked Karim, I'm like, was this man really injured? I feel like Carrick had him in a chamber, prepping him with a oxygen tank and water or something, priming him for this game because.
And Simeon, based on what Carrick say after the game, Kobe only trained 2 days this week, eh?
Wow.
2 days, eh? Go true.
Nah. I mean, the man didn't really put that foot wrong today. I mean, the man was just on it from the start of the game, locked. You could see he was locked in. Concentration was on, and you can see he was that triangle. They talk about modern football. He was always right there for the ball, wanting the ball. We missed that so much again in a Leeds game. I never felt like the midfield was rushed or pressured. He just took all the pressure off of fellas. And you look at. We talk about our defense. I think it was good that we didn't have too many lost balls in midfield that would have the men turning backwards, having counterattacks that Chelsea could have, capitalize on. I think Kobe was a big part of that, by stabilizing the ball control in the midfield. And the defensive work he did. I mean, to do that, I mean, he had to be something right. Did he play the whole game?
Mm-hmm.
Be injured. When the last game he played? He'll be injured and come back and play the whole game. The kind of work rate he was doing. I mean, I was always critical of his defensive work, or at least ability. But he was solid today. He was more solid. He was very good today. The man played better than better defensive game that I see him play. So more of this Kobe, I keep saying, I don't know if it's the way the system is, but you won't see Kobe, dribbling through a side, and putting the ball, I'm not seeing that any, too much. I don't know if it's if he has more defensive responsibility, but the work he's doing is tremendous. I think. Yeah, I mean, if he plays like this, for the rest of the season, obviously he'll be an England team, but we really, need to reevaluate the kind of, players in midfield, like, JP said, who can we surround Manu with? That's going to be the question. But he has to, two things. He has to play like this for the rest of the season, and he has to stay healthy.
Well, I think that is why we had to sign players,
Yeah.
Because I mean, Kobe, like for instance, against Leeds, Kobe wasn't available. These things happen. Players pick up knocks, but you don't want the level to drop so far that you're dropping from Kobe to Mount Everest, Ugarte.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, Kobe drop out, somebody like Wharton, coming in. You understand? So we know that the level is dropping far,
but also have a coach that could, if we got to change type of player we have, a coach that could adjust. But that's a different discussion.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Fully agree with that. And you know, God, but I hate to go back here, but it is really grind me. You know, when people were so brainwashed and saying things with chest that Kobe don't do defensive work and Kobe don't do this and Kobe could go. We are about the team. Are you supposed to sit down and watch you throw away a gem of a player that cost us nothing?
Mhm.
I keep saying I watched Crystal Palace play and Glasner had, and it's not that Crystal Palace is standard, eh? It's just the idea, the mentality behind what I'm saying. We were playing the same formation with our other guy, and he had Wharton and Will Hughes in the middle. Which one of them is an athlete? Which one of them is some kind of avenger in the middle there? But yet, they were never caught out, or very little, because the team was so compact. So it all comes down to how you instruct your players and how you set your team up. The amount I see Kobe intercepting passes today, I see Kobe going on the ground to win back the ball. And when you get up, you're getting the level of composure and you're getting the forward movement. And you want to tell me we almost sell this player, right? I'm going to get some comments from you in the comment section saying, right? So Cohen saying here, yeah, Mano is a boss in the midfield, top class for a youth man. 20 years, right? 20. Phil saying here, one thing I love about Heaven, he always wants to pass the ball forward, unlike Luke Shaw, who love a back pass. Yeah, Luke back pass Shaw. Right? Cohen saying here, yeah, man. Yeah, and he responded to Phil, Heaven was really good today, no doubt. He was cool, calm, and in control too. You know? And we will get to Heaven, you know, after we get through these comments, right? Phil saying here, tag Kristen when we're talking about Kobe. That man disrespect Kobe all year, but burn the Kobe haters and the Amorim lovers, right? Feel like to burn people, he's capable to know. More fire. Darian said here, Kobe is so disciplined for his age. He just keeps the ball moving, and against Chelsea, who has a good midfield, before he performed good. His defending has really improved. The only thing I find, he don't go forward as much as he did under Ten Hag. That could be instructions.
It could be instructions,
yeah. All right. Phil saying here, Amorim is a criminal. That man needs to go to jail, directly to jail. Don't fast go. Don't collect $200. All right. Alan saying here, Amorim is a terrorist.
For real.
All right. Ronaldo Belfon on the inside. Thanks for joining, man. Saying he just joined the live. Nice to have you, man. Saying Carrick looking like Southgate with his subs.
Yeah.
The next player I want to touch on, guys, and I mentioned it earlier, Aidan Heaven. All right. And you know, some of the comments already touched on it. Bruno, you know, had some comments after the game about Heaven, right? So let me just hear what Bruno had to say. Bruno was saying here, when you see the type of calmness he brings when when or while on the ball, and the way he tackles and covers ground, you will think he has 30 years experience. Right? He went on to say, to step into the game after so long on the bench, it takes incredible courage. He has unbelievable raw talent and skills. But what impresses me is his maturity. He listens, learns, and plays without fear. Let's talk about Aidan Heaven, guys. Coming in, you know, because injury, I don't think he would have played much more if Maguire and Licha were available on Euro. But here you are calling on a 19-year-old against a team like Chelsea with the lap to try to bully her. And he was, I mean, he started off the game, in my opinion, a little shaky, right? He almost cost me in the earlies, but he grew into the game and you saw that quality go through.
No, I think Heaven is a top talent. I mean, no doubt about it. But I think, you know, there's so much he has to learn through experience. I think, that no fear is great. It helps him, makes him a great player, but at the same time, it will lead to mistakes sometimes. I mean, I think as a team, we have to go through that, with Heaven. But I think overall, you could see he's a great player, a great, mentality there. I mean, he's a player you want on your team. Just watching him play, the aggressiveness, the calmness, maturity. You could tell that the talent is there for a really, really top player. So I like him. I just think he's gonna he's gonna need playing time. I think he's gonna need a lot of playing time to get these mistakes out the way, because they will be mistakes. But he's looking right now like the most talented, centre back, as far as, as long as he gets his grown man strength going, a lot of talent there. I think the ball skills are exceptional. The reading of the game is good, but you can still be outsmarted by, veterans and stuff. But this needs that toughness and more playing time.
Yeah. And JP, as you're coming in now, I just want to add another element here. Kobe didn't cost us anything. And all Heaven cost us is £1 million.
$1 million. Yeah. So that just goes to show that you always had to spend big to get the best quality. Because honestly, I disappointed that we didn't see more of Heaven this season. Because I thought he looked very good last season, and especially with Martinez being out, I think the only other centre back we have who we saw playing through the lines was Heaven. Last season, he was doing that a lot, and from what the commentator was saying today, his earlier playing days, he was a midfielder. So that's why he good on the ball and comfortable on the ball. And you see that in his play. He very composed once he settled. He's not afraid to make the tackles when he need to. He reading the game well. And his ball passing ability through the line is something that is very important, because we missed that a lot with Martinez. And I think that contributed to part of the way our performances went when we didn't have that coming out of the back. Because yeah, you're good. Yes, Maguire has really stepped up and been good. But you're not getting quality passes through the lines from those fellas on a consistent basis. And having that in Heaven at this young age, again, just like with Kobe, playing at that level at that age, then the ceiling for these fellas real high. They have real far to go. And the future looking good, fellas, when you think about some of the talent that we have younger. But what we have to do is who we put in around them to allow them to grow. So when you look at the academy with other players that coming up with JJ Gabriel, and I think Chido really, it was a better decision to have him stay at the lower level this season and play there. Because he back to scoring, he back to feeling himself, I think. And then we can start to kind of probably look to see how we could fit in the team. But that to me, Heaven is a very good example of you do always have to spend big, but you have to look for qualities in a player. And Arsenal real drop the ball with that. I mean, yes, they have a very good centre-back pairing, but you had a player come for free there. He was a free player, and just how Arteta like to play centre-backs as wing-back. Heaven could have played a nice left-back for them. And I say that's something I don't even mind seeing us try with him. I'm not saying totally take him out of being a centre-back, yeah? But I so don't want to see Shaw that I feel like I prefer we try that with Heaven. And I think Heaven comfort on the ball. He have decent speed. He have good passing. Why not try him at a left back?
True, JP. I want to try him at midfielder. Look at what we have. Shoot.
For real. Eh?
I mean, I was like, what? He played midfield? Why?
Yeah.
Why we didn't try that?
Yeah,
Nah.
Never done Kobe in our midfield.
But I remember when we did the post-season tour, when we went Malaysia or something.
Yeah,
I remember Amorim played a centre-back trio and Heaven played as the centre-back. And you know that one that's normally kind of be advanced. And that was a spectacular game from him in terms of how his passing, his diagonals, his forward passing, as they talk about through the lines, JP. Composure, you know, because that centre-back is the one who more or less kind of dictating the tempo. Right? And I mean, I was surprised that even after we never saw it happen again. But this boy has the IQ of a midfielder. He has the ability of a midfielder. And I mean, that is where he used to play before. And what you see in centre backs now, they are like quarterback centre backs, you know, because they take the ball off the back and they try to move the football up, you know. So when you have centre backs with that kind of ability, it could only benefit the team from a tactical standpoint. And then he have pace, he have recovery pace, he tall. So it's just as you say, Simeon, just for him to grow into his kind of more adult body. And we have a German, we have a solid player for $1 million.
Yeah, he's pretty good on offense. I mean, you don't see him too much up front, but he's pretty good from what I remember, attacking the being an attacker. So yeah.
So let's see what the comments saying here. So Phil saying here, Heaven only knows. Yeah. Saying here, spot on GP. Heaven is just a taller version of Martinez. My thing is Heaven, in order to get to the next level, it's not only just about more playing time, but the right leadership next to him.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. The next player we get in from Arsenal, if they bottle the league this season, is Max Daumann. I could prefer. I mean, as good as Max Daumann is, I want to see Shea Lacey come into the team. You know, I want to see Jim Thwaites come into the team,
and then JJ Gabriel next season.
Yeah, so that's what I want to see. I mean, Max Daumann, quality youth man, but we own who we could, you know. Think. The last person I want to talk about, guys. I mean, it's not he's never one of my favorites, but the man inevitable, the man undeniable, the man playing with a different level of confidence. You understand what I'm saying? He's chasing a record right now that I really hope he breaks, and the rate he's going at, he's going to definitely surpass it. All right? Bruno Fernandes, guys. Bruno Fernandes. I don't have no comments on Bruno Fernandes. I don't think we need to say anything or read any comments from anybody about Bruno Fernandes. But let's talk about Mr. Inevitable.
What you gonna say? I mean, what you gonna say about Bruno? I mean, I think even now, I mean, I think you have to. He could pick a pass. I mean, at the end of the day, that man could pick a pass. You know, say what you will. I mean, he could see passes and put the ball in the right spot. You know, you could turn a game around like that. I mean, it's just class. I mean, it's just class. Like class type assist. I mean, the assist. He. I mean, it's not even the number, but the quality. I mean, I really have to give it to him. You know, record. You know, I hope you know. How much more assists do we need for the absolute record?
Two to match it.
Yeah, and three to pass it.
With 5 games to go.
Yeah, and it's so effortless. You know, I think you know. The man just good. I mean, he good to a fault. You know, he's so good that you know the team kind of built around him. You know, making things happen, which is great. But you know, he would like to see more of a more structure, more a way of playing that will lead up to more goals. But Bruno by himself, you know, you can see carrying the team, as far as assists. I mean, that last game that passed to Casemiro this time, finding Cunha, and so many misses that should have been goals. You know, it's tough because he's also the captain, and he kind of petulant sometimes on all this stuff. But the man, as far as assists is concerned, the man, league all by himself. I mean, I put him up there with some of the best that ever played the game with his vision and assist. I mean, I already can't say too much more about Bruno.
Yeah, and even today, in the later part of the game, the composure on the ball. I mean, and there's one of the things that I just always ask for. You see, composure. I don't like when you're forcing it too much. I understand that it have times you're gonna need to risk it a little bit. But you see, when a player showing composure and movement and intelligence, and Bruno showed that today. You understand what I'm saying? Especially when the team was under pressure and we needed to hold onto the ball to take some pressure off our defense. Him and Kobe moving around the ball, keeping it, moving into pockets, controlling the ball, shaking off pressure. He could take the ball under pressure, Bruno, the thing about it is Bruno's a real good player, right? He's a top player. My only thing, and Simeon, you had touched on it, my only thing is I don't want to go into next season or go into the next stage of our rebuild depending so heavily on Bruno or one player. I want to see us play that even if Bruno comes out the team, that we won't be panicking now, but like, hey, Bruno in this, so what can happen? I want to know that Bruno in the team or Bruno not in the team, we're going to see top performances. Players know what to do. They're not just going to, all right, so Bruno not here, so who are we going to pass the ball to? Who going to take initiative? Who going to take responsibility?
I one thing that Bruno is, the curse of all brilliant minds is sometimes he tries to do too much.
Yeah.
It's like the simple pass right there. His mind just say, wackadoo, or back heel, reverse, on the other side.
And that's happened today.
Yeah.
Times, huh?
Yeah.
JP?
Yeah. I think honestly this season too we see the most mature version of Bruno, because it's a lot less. What we were complaining about Bruno was the Hollywood passes and, as you say, Simeon trying to do too much. And I think this season he simplified his game a little bit and it make him more effective too, because he's not trying to do too much. And at this point, Bruno should have be well past that record if men took the chances. Bruno should have just be out there in a league of his own with that record and not have to be so close to De Bruyne and I'm saying at this point in time. He should be well beyond that at this point in time. And I think with maturity, we could see an even better version of Bruno next season. And if players like Mbeumo and Cunha, Sesko, whoever Amal, if they start to take more of their chances, we would have less reliance on him. And I think to an extent that is why we've seen a better version of him, because we have more players who taking chances still than last season. Because last season it was worse. It was Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho he was passing to. So that was terrible. This season, when they could pass to Cunha or Mbeumo, you're seeing the difference. So that's why you're seeing a whole different, less Hollywood passes, less of him trying to do too much and actually able to do the best parts of his game properly. So I feel like next season, when Mbeumo settle properly, when Cunha settle properly, when these players get a full preseason together, and if we have the right manager in place, if be it Carrick or somebody else, and you just make the right signings to the team and not just our manager, and the team really gel, I feel like you will see the best of Bruno, but it wouldn't be because we're relying on Bruno. But it's because Bruno have people around him who doing what they're supposed to do too. So I really think And Bruno just a player deserve a Premier League, boy. It real hard to think that this man, since we signed him, has been the best midfielder in the Premier League in that time frame. All the De Bruyne they talk about, Bruno better than him. Yeah, to be real, Bruno better. Bruno may not be the nicest player to watch play the game, you know, but the man effective. He's very effective, and you can't question his heart, you can't question his mentality, and it's not just heart and run. The man have the ability to back it too. So it's really when you think about the kind of player we have in Bruno, if the quality increase around him, then you just see better. Because think back to like our 08 team with Ronaldo. Ronaldo was the star guy. But when Ronaldo wasn't playing, it wasn't like everything fall apart because we had other top players in the team too. So that is where we need to get back to get the best of the whole team.
Yeah, well said. And the unfortunate thing with the Bruno versus De Bruyne comparison is De Bruyne had titles now, boy.
Titles, yeah.
That's the annoying thing because they always say, well, what Bruno win? You know? Yeah. So, I mean, I agree with you. It would be really good if Bruno could win a title, a Premier League with us before, you know, he move on, you know. 2 comments here. Phil saying here, well, you know, Phil and Bruno had these relationships, right? And it's so much so that he writes a paragraph. He say, I was one who wanted to sell Bruno. Discipline was questionable. Always whining and crying and complaining. And let's not forget the whole Hollywood hero passes and questionable decisions. But this Bruno, since Carrick took over, is a 180, right? He's the Bruno some Man United fans have been asking for the last 2 seasons. IQ, composure, and more discipline, and a more disciplined captain. Holding the ball and thinking twice before making a pass. He and Lamens are the first names on the team sheet. Also, Bon Nugati, right?
Just super.
Right? But well said, man. Well said.
Yeah.
You know, Bruno had to be doing something to over Phil. Right? Finally, guys, I think we have our next Monday fixture. I don't know why they're doing that today. Monday and all. We couldn't play Saturday next week. So we have Brentford coming on Monday. How you all feel about our fixture and any changes to the team that we all saw today?
Who knows, man? I mean, with this team, you really don't know. You know, you look at the menu, and that's you know, that menu play is encouraging as far as controlling the game, which is important. Maguire, suspension was extended.
Just one. I think he'll be back for that game.
Okay, so that's positive as well. What the pairing is gonna be?
No, I think Maguire walked back into the team, you know, and I think we need Maguire for Thiago.
Yes.
You know, Maguire does really bring a kind of level of stability in for set pieces and that kind of thing, defensively and offensively. You know, so it could be important that Maguire come back in. I think the experiment with Mazwari today worked, but it's not something I can say, well,
No.
You know?
No.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think, you know, I'm positive. I mean, I really don't think. Hopefully, you know, them fellas up front could get, you know, some kind of, you know, scoring back on track. Laments, then, you know, I don't think he looked too troubled today, despite the fact that, you know, Chelsea was really pressing. You know, I don't normally predict victories, but I think they have a good shot as long as they show up, you know, ready to play. I mean, I think normally you can tell in the first 5 minutes with this team if they're on. It just show up with, you know, have the, you know, the attention and intensity as they did today. They should be okay.
Okay, yeah. Are we playing home, right? So JP?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would just replace any backline Maswari for Maguire. So I will go with Maguire and Hebden in the back. The midfield picking itself. I think where we're going to make a decision is up front. You see, I want Mbeumo to get a proper run in his favored position. Because I think we would see the best version of him there. The thing with when he was at Brentford, he and Visa kind of used to play off for each other, and one would go wide and one would stay. And they had that understanding of who would do it when. But when he played through the middle for us, he do have that person to have that with who would go in the middle and he could go wide. And that's where he's most effective. So I think that's where the trouble is for me when you're picking that front line, because we know Xerxes not going to get picked. And I even go and try to have that conversation and say Xerxes should start and you have Mbeumo and Cunha either side of him. So the dilemma is, if we do play Sesko, then we had to take Mbeumo out of his better position and bring in Ahmad. And then to me, when they bring a player in a team, you want him to be settled, and I feel like we unsettle Mbeumo with the changing of his position. That is my assessment of Mbeumo. So I really want him to play in his favored position, but I still don't feel like Sesko ready to be a starter for the team. And for that game, there is a problem that we need to consider. More so for the future, when we look at next season and what we buy in, I think that is also a problem that we need to consider.
Yeah.
Where we need to have another striker who could fill that role, and we don't have to substitute Mbeumo in that place.
Yeah. And weirdly enough, the best we saw out of Mbeumo and Ahmad is when they was playing together on the right hand
Together.
side.
Yeah.
That's the best we saw out of the both of them.
Both of them.
But unfortunately, the system such that,
It was in that criminal system that we was playing that. Yeah, we were seeing that.
I mean, we don't know who the coach going to be yet, so we going to see, right?
We're not going back to that back three. We know that.
Phil saying here, as we wrap up, guys, Phil saying here, Bruno the best midfielder in the Premier League right now, but apparently I am being told that Declan Rice is better because he can play different positions. All right. Maguire walks back into the team next to Heaven, but please do not idiot the thing and put your hand across nobody's chest. All right? Yeah. I mean, I think you learn a lesson, right? And this Phil will cause you to get blocked, right? Why are we selling Ahmad?
Sell Ahmad? Yeah, what kind of schools and what comment is that, Phil?
let me leave it up long enough so schools and them producer could sit and call Phil on the pod with them, right? All of it to talk of it on deluded nonsense, right? Anyway, so guys, I mean, we at the end of the pod, another top result, with 10 points clear of Chelsea in 6th, right? Let me just hope Villa, who Villa playing tomorrow?
Let me check, yeah.
I'm going to put it up and see as well. Villa, hopefully whoever Villa playing could do we a favor tomorrow, and help we out with
Villa playing Sunderland.
Hey, Sunderland in some good form. So that's not a bad fixture, That's not a bad fixture.
Tomorrow's Merseyside derby, yes. I didn't realize that,
Liverpool, Everton?
Yeah.
All right. So let me hope Everton do your thing. Do me a favor, future player for Man United, and do me something and give us something.
Who we got in the next game?
Brentford.
I'm talking about tomorrow at City and
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Oh, City Arsenal tomorrow?
11:30, yeah.
Okay. Nice. That could be nice.
Yeah.
That could be nice.
There's a big one there because whoever win that did win the title.
I expect Arteta to do exactly what he do against Sporting and park the bus
He
Right?
say he coming out to win.
Lip. I talk. You know? Anyway, so guys, we'll be here again on Monday. You know, I don't know why the people who doing this thing
That's fighting me, boy.
yeah, fighting it by GP boy.
Yeah, boy. Don't want me to be on this part at all, boy.
Yeah, so the next game will hopefully go be a good result. And I think once we win that one, it will be all but seal that
You're
Champions
safe.
League football is coming back to Old Trafford next season. You know, the Red Devil will be represented in the Champions League, and that's what we want. We want more football. You know, this season was a real process. You know, we didn't do ourselves any favor getting knocked out of those cup competitions at the first round. You know, but I mean, that was endured, and we coming to the end, and we're going into a new season with new hope and expectations. Yeah. So Simeon, JP, guys, it was nice. You know, those in the comment section, as always, we do appreciate it. The likes, the shares. You know, and Garnacho is a fraud. All right, and it feels good that Kobe Mino proven all the way wrong. You know?
Yes.
So have a good night, fellas, and see you on the next one. Blessings.